Preparation for Mass. Go to the sacristy and sign in on the schedule and check cincture color for Mass that day. Boy and girl servers have separate rooms for the vesting of albs. After vesting, all servers meet again at the sacristy. 5 minutes before Mass is to start, servers light candles. This is the correct way to wear albs. The albs are to go down to the ankles, the cinctures tied to the left side, and dress shoes worn. This is the credence table. At the beginning of Mass, it is set up with all the items you will need during the Mass. Here are the items on the table from left to right: the ciboria, the lavabo bowl and towel, the priest's chalice, communion chalices with purificators, and lastly, bells. 5 minutes before Mass starts, servers walk to the back of the church and line up. The procession formation looks like this: cross bearer in the front center. Behind are candle bearers on either side of the cross. If there is a fourth server, he or she is to walk behind the candles, not holding anything but hands in prayer position. The procession. Once music starts, with the cross raised high, the cross-bearer proceeds at a slow and reverent pace. Servers walk in unison, spaced about one row behind each other. At the sanctuary, the cross goes to the right and waits, while the candle bearers go up the altar and place candles on the stands. They then go down to line up at the steps. All wait to bow with the celebrant. Then the cross-bearer places the cross in the stands so that it faces the congregation, and then goes to his seat in the front side pew. When standing, servers are to have hands folded and praying with the congregation. When sitting down, servers have hands on their lap, eyes on the priest. Please try to keep your body still. Avoid yawning, scratching, chatting with your fellow servers, or playing with the cinctures. After prayer of the faithful, Lord, hear our prayer. At the end of the prayer of the faithful, the servers go to the credence table and bring all chalices to the altar. Remember that all servers must bow in unison before entering and exiting the altar area. Servers place the priest's chalice in the center of the corporal, and the common cups are lined up on the choir side of the altar. 2 servers go down to receive gifts with the celebrant. Standing on his right and left side. Priest will take the wine and the water cruet and bread and hand it to the servers to bring up to the altar, where they stand and wait for further instructions. The 3rd and 4th servers wait at the credence table with a wash bowl and towel. When the other 2 servers return from the altar, 3 servers then go up for hand washing in this order. The bowl is in the middle, towel and water cruet on either side. The server with the water cruet pours the water over the priest's hands over the bowl. The 3rd server holds the finger towel for the priest to dry his hands.
My brothers and sisters, pray that my sacrifice and yours.
After the Holy, Holy, Holy. Before kneeling, one server brings the bells over to the seat.
Will be given up for you.
When the priest raises the host, the server rings the bells joyfully and keeps ringing until the priest lowers the host.
a similar way, when supper was ended, he took the chalice, and giving you thanks, he said the blessing, gave the chalice to his disciples, saying, "Take this, all of you, and drink from it. For this is the chalice of my blood, the blood of the new and eternal covenant, which will be poured out for you and for many for the forgiveness of sins. Do this in memory of me."
Do the same when the priest elevates the chalice. Continue to ring the bell joyfully until the chalice is lowered. Sign of peace. After servers offer the sign of peace to each other, they bring all ciboria up to the altar. Afterwards, they all line up at the steps to receive communion. After communion. When communion is finished, the priest will go back up the altar. The server will bring the water cruet up to the altar and wait. The priest will use the water to wash down the communion cups. Then he will hand back the water cruet, and the server will bring it back to the credence table and sit down. When all cleaning is done, the server will bring back the priest's chalice to the credence table. Note that the priest's chalice should be carried one hand on the top, the other hand on the bottom. The recessional.
The Lord be with you. And with your spirit. May Almighty God bless you, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Go in peace. Thanks be to God.
After the final blessing, servers get the cross and candles and line up at the sanctuary steps. Together, they bow with the priest and recess down in proper order, with the cross being in the front, candle bearers behind him to the left and to the right, and the fourth server walking with hands in prayer position. The Mass is now done. At the end of Mass, please bring the cross and the candles back to the sacristy, blow out the candles. Get changed and hang up albs and put away cinctures neatly.